welcome to our interview today. We have a special guest with us. We have Mrs. Elizabeth Hamilton Guarino, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So before we get into it, my name is Celeste Ferreira. I'm the project coordinator at Tiffany's Identity. Now, for those of you watching, Elizabeth is the founder of the Best Ever You Network. She is the CEO of Compliance for. She is a master life coach, best-selling author of multiple award-winning books. She is a member of the Forbes Business Council. She is doing it all. um, she's definitely lived a full life. So before I introduce the team, Elizabeth, how are you doing today? Are you here with us?
I'm there yet. There I am. Hi.
Hi. So
Thank you
nice to
so
see
much.
you.
Oh, that
Oh.
was a great intro. That's so catchy and beautiful and engaging. That was awesome. Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. So, at Tiffany's Identity, we thought that this interview would be extremely beneficial to our audience to give them a taste of what they can expect at the BBY conference, which we are so excited for. And actually, Mrs. Elizabeth Hamilton Guarino, because she's a mother and a wife on top of everything she does, she is going to be speaking at. So, we're going to give you a little taste. But before I get into it, I am going to introduce the team, right? So as they come on, I'll just let you know that Elizabeth, she is all about facilitating change, taking action. And that's what we're about at Tiffany's as well, because we want to see women make a change, take action, come out of their current circumstances, believe something greater about themselves. And we are definitely forever grateful to our CSO, Mr. Brian Esposito, who connected us with Elizabeth Guarino. And he actually has his own chapter in the Change Guidebook, which is amazing. So if you're watching, hi 50 something, if you guys are watching and you have any questions at all for us or for Elizabeth today, because we're going to be talking about our project and how it aligns with what Elizabeth is doing, be sure to comment. And at the end, we're going to get to as many questions as we can. So I'm going to introduce some team members, like I promised, because we do have a few people from our team today from Tiffany's Identity. And so the first person I want to introduce is Carolyn Lewis. She is our lead strategist at Tiffany's Identity. Hey, Carolyn, how are you?
Hi Celeste, hi Elizabeth.
Hi, hi. So nice to have you today. We have Sabita, also known as Sabitz. If you join our Discord, jump on. You're going to get to talk to her directly. So Sabita, she is an entrepreneur and an ambassador. And we're so grateful to her for all the knowledge she shares and the insight she brings to us, being a woman out of Toronto. So how are you doing today, Sabita?
I am doing very well. I'm looking forward to this conversation and all the wonderful things that Elizabeth is going to, enlighten us about, particularly about her book. I'm very interested in it. I understand that, this book, myself personally, I'm going to go get myself a copy because I know that
So,
there is that there's courses in there, and at the end, you can successfully obviously obtain a certificate. So I'm going to make my way through it, and I'm looking forward to everything that you're about to tell us.
You
great.
know,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Elizabeth.
I was just
Sorry.
going to say, this is so amazing to have women supporting other women. It's so powerful as an author. I feel like I'm tearing up actually because this is so cool to have other women like support you and hold up your book. It's amazing. I mean, it truly is like, oh, thank you guys. It's
Yeah,
really hard. It's really hard to be an author. It's really hard to do
I
things.
can
And
imagine.
when we have a community like this, you can do anything.
That
Absolutely.
is so true. Yeah, you definitely really can't get anywhere in life without support. It really does take support and a team to make bigger things happen. You can do a lot alone, but you can do so much more when you have a community, a team supporting you. And we're so happy that you could be here with us as well, Elizabeth, to support what we are doing. I would like to bring on as well. Do we have Ran with us today?
Yes.
She Okay, great. Perfect. So we have Ram. So nice to see you today, Ran. She is also known as Cryptomama. And she is a CEO based in Japan. She's one of our ambassadors at Tiffany's Identity. How are you doing today, Ran?
Hi, good morning from my part of the
Oh, good
world.
morning.
I woke up at
Wow.
5:30 and I'm
Wow.
Wow.
excited to be here. It's so great to see you, meet you in person. Elizabeth, I'm just excited for this show. Carolyn and Celeste, Sabitz, these are all the women with whom I'm going to be working
It's so nice to
for
see
It's
you,
really
with
Ran.
exciting.
women empowerment.
So
For
nice to meet
sure.
you. And thank you for getting up that early. I know how hard that is.
No, I'm fine. It's just that with all that we do with Babes Clan, it's a lot of things going on at middle of the night, often happening at 3 in the morning for me. And so sometimes it's a little bit harsh at times, but um at the end of the day, it's something that you believe in, that you do with passion, and that's what really
Yeah.
excites me.
Yeah, well, we're so glad you adjusted your sleep schedule to accommodate us, Ran. That's so amazing. And we are so
Thank you so
grateful for
much.
you.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
sure, and your contribution. And so, last but not least, I want to introduce Darian Hamilton. He is the CEO at Juice Spaces, and he has done a lot. He has really done a lot for the project to help facilitate it and really support it. Even though it's a woman's project, so we have the final say. He has done a lot to support it. So we're really grateful for you, Darian. How are you doing today?
Hi guys, hi guys. It's such an honor to be here. I'm really blown away by everything that you guys are doing. And even to Elizabeth, I want to say it really is an honor to connect with you. I remember when Brian first mentioned you, and Brian he said, Elizabeth will be a great speaker for the conference. We saw the best ever you, and we saw that it's perfect to combine with the best beautiful you. And the synergy is connected, and we are just really, really, really excited. I can't wait for women to even be inspired by your story and your journey.
Yeah.
So kudos to all of you powerful women, and I will actually get out the way of greatness and let you guys continue do what you guys are doing.
Okay, great. So Darren Hamilton, for sure, he's one of those guys who respects women, who supports women. I know not all guys are like that, but we found a really good one, guys. So we're really thankful for
Gotta
him.
keep them.
Um, yeah.
I
So I'm
think in
gonna
our
jump.
juice spaces, sorry, but I think overall in juice spaces, that project in itself, the
Yeah.
guys that are behind it and a part of it, involved in it, like Darian and Kerwin and Kyle and Brian. I mean, we're very lucky and fortunate to have, really great guys by our side to help
Absolutely.
us, to help promote us and inspire
Yeah.
us, because we do that on a day-to-day basis to each other, for each other, but it's also important to have, the guys backing us 100%.
Definitely. So
I fully agree because sometimes guys have strengths that we might not have. I mean, we all have our strengths and then we all have our weaknesses. And then sometimes we find, we meet some guys and they help us in our weaknesses. And so, like I said at the beginning, community support is so important because you
yeah.
can do so much more together than you can alone. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Elizabeth, a lot of people here want to know about you. We want to know your story. We want to know how you achieved all of these wonderful things, how you became a life coach, a best-selling author, all
Yes.
of the great things you're doing. So we want to know a little bit about your journey. What inspired you? How did you come to a place where you were able to write a great book like the Change Guidebook that is changing so many lives?
Thank you. First of all, it's great to see all of you, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be here with you. And so I'm 52, almost 53. So to give you that history, we're going all the way. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going back to kindergarten in 50 years. No, I will go back a little bit though and say that I'm the thing about me the most. I'm a mom of 4 sons. So when I do see somebody like Darian on here, I'm like, yes, please include those men, those boys, and everything. They're very vital to our being, and keep the great ones around. They're amazing, and help the ones that aren't so great because they need some love. So just help each other. So it's really important. But as a person and human being, I've stayed at home. I've gone to work. I've done all these things, and Best Ever You was born sort of out of that balance and struggle and juggle, if you will. I thought, I'm going to suit up and go back to work when my little one was in first grade. And I went to go be the vice president of a financial services firm because my background is financial services. And it turned out to be a mess, like the worst ever me in those moments. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I closed my door and I took out, I basically wrote the business plan for Best Ever You behind closed doors. In that moment, I was in this firm and there were 4 guys fighting. And I'm like, oh my goodness, no, this is not my thing. And I wrote Best Ever You, Best Ever Me. And it was really Best Ever You that held ground in that moment. And I quit my job right on the spot, which I don't know if I recommend doing exactly the way I did it, but I did it. And I came home, announced I quit my job, and went up the street and registered besteveryou.com with a friend. And that was all the way back in 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
Amazing.
Yeah, and all the way since kindergarten, I've wanted to be a writer. So that's where the writing part comes from. I've always wanted to write books and things like that. And I've done a lot of. I'm a journalist by degree, and leadership trained at Harvard, and all sorts of good things that have been fun and supported all the things that I love to do. But I'm like you guys. I'm very entrepreneurial, so I try to keep that creativity alive and. Where I can and see things that are fun to do. I'd love to expand our network that way because we're the Best Ever You network, helping people be their best, whatever it is, because people have these dreams of doing things and they get stuck and they think, oh, I can't do that. How do I do that? What do I do to be like them or do that? And it's that shove in the right direction, that hand holding, that hug, whatever it is to help you out so that you get unstuck. But I'm all about helping people, anybody I can, dream big, think global, think local, whatever it is they want to do, but get it done. Take action. Instead of wishing for it, you got to work. You got to work for it. And that's where I help people change, really.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's what you said is really inspiring and encouraging, Elizabeth. Coming from that security of your professional career and taking a step into vulnerability to do something that you're passionate about, that inspires so many women who are thinking about if they can take that step. They have commitments in their life and they're not sure how to go about doing it. They know maybe what their passions are, but they don't know how to align it with something that's meaningful in their life or something that they can use to maybe provide a source of income. And, you wrote this amazing book, which is the Change Guidebook. And it's founded on this principle of how to align your heart, truths, and energy to find success in all areas of your life. And, that's really inspiring to me because, your heart is telling you one thing. You have these truths in your mind, but your energy is being pulled in these different directions, and it's hard to bring it into alignment. And so I think that's really inspiring and encouraging. And I was wondering, you have these 10 points of change in the book. And I was wondering if there are any, maybe 2 of them that's the most crucial, that stand out the most to you.
Well, I love all of them. They're like little children. So, it's hard to pick a couple, but I think, I like the first 2 where you're assessing and choosing. And there's a pretty good download on my website that goes with that. If people want to download that, it's free. It's besteveryou.com/change guidebook. If anybody wants that, they can go there and get that. But really, I think whenever you're in this moment, the reason why I wrote this book is to help people right in that moment. I want to meet you right there and say, okay, let's go forward. And how are we going to do that? And the best way to do that is to take a step back actually and look at things and assess the situation in all the different areas of your life. And so there's an assessment that you download right there. That's something I use in my personal life on my birthday, which is coming up. I'm 53. And I used it. And I thought, if I'm using this, other people might want to use it. A few people were asking me if they could use it. And that's how that part came about. But then choice is another point. And Brian is on page 49 in Choice. He shares his story about making a decision. So Brian Esposito share. And so I think assess and choice are super important because the choices that you make in every moment of your life are critical. Understanding that we are not, as people, entitled to time. And so once you understand that you're not entitled to time, it makes you go, I have some choices to make in these moments, and they're going to be what they're going to be. but I'm going to align that so that my energy goes and my heart, heart, truth, energy all day long, right here, and showing up authentically who you are. We need more of you, not more of fake you or Instagram you or whatever it is. We need you. And then that energy that you put out into the universe, aligning that with all of that, taking the right actions and so forth. I know I'm going on a little bit here, but really the fundamental part of this is understanding that we are not entitled to time. And so
Yes.
I really want you to like align your heart, truths, and energy in your moments.
Wow. It's really good.
Excellent.
That was awesome. Really good.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think because the only way you can really make a change is you have to know what the problem is first. And so
Yeah.
introspection
Yes.
is really important. You
Introspection.
do have to take a step back and figure out why, if you're in a cycle, why does it always happen this way? You can't live life on autopilot. You have to be intentional, take a step back. So I really love that point you
Yeah.
brought up, Elizabeth.
Well, thank you. And, really just listening to yourself too. People spend a lot of time here. And I, all day long, as a master life coach, I move people from here to here, here to here, all day long, and think about what you actually want. And it's when you ignore that, you're like, well, I really want to be a painter, or I really want to be write a book, but it's really hard. I don't know how I'm going to make money doing that. I don't know how I'm going to make money if I quit my job tomorrow and say, here's the prize. I own this website. What am I going to do? And that was really hard for me to be like, I'm quitting. And I'm going full steam ahead, with all this energy into these jobs and books and all this stuff. And there's all these people around going, including my own parents at the time, were like, what did you just do? Oh my goodness, there's naysayers everywhere and they're not who you expect them to be. And parents are cool now, but there's a lot of people around you. So I always say, when you're going to make a change, aside from the change guidebook by your side, earplugs and bubble wrap all day long. Earplugs and bubble wrap, I think we need it because, you got to tune it out and you got to protect yourself a little bit here and there, because people are not always there with you when you might be way ahead of them. Like people have to catch up with you sometimes.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Not always are they there to celebrate celebrate your success.
No, and it's shocking when people do that, because you think, oh, I wrote this book, everybody in my family is going to buy 200 copies. Yay, I'll be all set. That's not the way it works.
That's right.
And it's just not the way it goes sometimes. And so just depends. But I think the book is really entitled to, is really there to meet people in that moment of that uncertainty and change the dialogue around change, because change is so scary sometimes, and people fear it. And there's all these things. When I say change, people go, oh, I don't want to do that. And and other people are like, cool, let's go. So the book is written so it's whether you intend to make a change, like an intentional thing, or something comes at you that you didn't expect, because that happens too. And it's like, well, what am I going to do with that? I just joined that club and I didn't want to be a member of that. So it's there for you. It's like a little best ever tool in your toolbox.
Elizabeth, I have to ask you, how did you discover these strategies, and how did you go about implementing them in your life, right?
So I really did this from scratch, actually. I thought, what do I do in my own life? And I'm a person who's nearly lost my life a couple times, because I'm on board with me are 4 life-threatening food allergies. So I live my life on a daily basis with life-threatening food allergies, like the kind that will kill you. I'm allergic to peanuts and nuts and all those things. And so when that happened to me in my late 20s, and like I said, I'm in my 50s now, so I've had this for a really long time. I thought, how am I going to navigate that? And this is a huge change in my life. How am I going to navigate that? And I kind of started writing this a really long time ago. I've carried journals. I've carried journals forever. And I started writing the process. And I'm like, I'm assessing this situation. I'm going to choose to be positive. I'm going to choose my energy. I'm going to discover all about things. I'm going to grow support. And then eventually, what I really want to do is impact and mentor other people. And those are the last points in the book. And that's what I think we're all here for, is those footprints we leave behind. Yes. This is actually my second book on the topic of change. My first one is a Hay House book called Percolate, Let Your Best Self Filter Through. And it's also about change, but it's more about my father's stroke and him surviving that. And so there's a lot to learn. Just to, I'm in the middle of 11 kids and I have 4 kids of my own. And if you position yourself as a lifelong learner and listen to
Yes.
other people will show you the path. You just have to kind of be willing to, people show you the path of what they've done. And then sometimes you veer above that or this way to do your own thing, kind of once you get the foundation. But I'm really big into foundational things too. Like learn the foundation. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
I rambled a little
It
bit.
does. It does. Thank you. Yes, of course.
Long answer.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love how you spoke about your father and learning from him. A lot of people,
Mm.
they talk a lot about having a fixed mindset as opposed to a growth mindset. And I think the only way to really get anywhere in life and to achieve anything is to have a mindset where you're willing to learn and grow each day, where there's something you can learn from every single person you meet. And it's just put yourself out there and be open and willing, to see what you can learn to grow
Beautiful
from other
point.
people's experiences.
Yeah, young and old too. Everybody,
Yes.
different people are so important to us as to fill that soul space. We need everybody, and that's why it's so important to be authentically you, because we need you, and you'll connect with who you're meant to connect with. I promise. And
Yes.
we just yeah,
That's so true.
that self-confidence part of this. I mean, really understanding, as you're making a change. Let's say, I've helped a lot of people lose like 100 pounds before, things like that. And intentionally, like, I want to lose 100 pounds. That's a huge change. There's a lot of people around you to get on board doing that. And but when you're making changes like that, it's really, again, I'm going to go back right here all day long. From here to here, heart, right here. What do you really, really, really want? I mean, I saw somebody just wrote a comment. I've got my notebook out. Write it down now. Write it down right now. And then do me a favor and type it in the chat or something. Tell me what you really, really want right now, what you really want to do with your life. Because if you don't share those goals verbally with people don't know, and people can't show up for you to help you achieve. Like if all of you had this goal in mind to do this, your NFT, but you never said anything, this group wouldn't
How's
be.
it going to happen?
Yeah. You'd all be like, I really want to do that, but how am I going to do it?
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's hard, to share, because it's taking something that's like a baby to you, and you don't know how people will receive it, how they'll treat it, and sometimes you just want to protect it for as long as possible. But you're right. Only with community can you really, the areas that you're weak in, you can find other people who want to support you and help you grow collectively, and I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And it's important to have all the different, the different ages of people, right, to influence you. That's also very important. Like, I'm the eldest of 3 girls, and I think it's, it's important. I look towards my younger sisters and I'm like that because they bring in, a little bit of that young sass, and they keep me updated, cool and hip. If that's that's what I say, right?
No, and it's my awesomeness or cool. I say cool all the time too, and I laugh. It's like, Mom, don't say that. And I'm like, too bad. But we need all these different people to do things. I always laugh. I'm like, I think I'm pretty technical until I get around my sons.
Until you get around with teenagers.
Yeah. So we need everybody around us, all different places, spaces, all the world, and everything, and you learn from each other for sure.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to throw in something there because I'm listening to you guys speak, and I really think it's so powerful. Like, you're actually inspiring me because I think people underestimate the power of a decision. Decisions are really powerful, and we first all have to make that decision to one change. Like, I remember not too long ago I was listening to something online and I saw this little girl. She came from a certain part of New York. She basically came from a rough life, and she said that it's the situation that she was going through. She decided that she didn't want that for her family anymore. And to me, that's so powerful because we could a lot of times accept things in our life and we think less of ourselves. And even in our world today, we were talking about it before we jumped on here. We were talking about filters and different stuff like that. The world today is a filtered world where people, they're on Instagram, They have that filter to make, to
Yeah.
portray an image that they aren't, and then after they go back to their reality, they are unhappy. And like, I think that journey of really discovering who we really are is important. That's why I love what you guys are doing. The best ever you, best beautiful you. It really is a powerful thing, because even an author, Miles Monroe, he talks about the graveyard being the wealthiest place on earth. And it makes so much sense, because a lot of people die with all their potential inside of them.
Yeah.
And it's really a sad thing, because think of somebody dying that had the cure for cancer in their brain, but they just, didn't become their best
Spiritualized.
ever self. Like, they didn't really discover
Yeah.
who they are to get on that journey. So I think that really is important. We're talking about it, and each woman does have potential. Each woman does have so much power. I think that women are such a figure. This world needs women. Women is what gives life. Women brings life to people, to human beings. Like, we actually, I'm being honest, I don't think families could function without women. Like, I even think about my household. My mom actually is the boss of, like, she without my mom, I don't know, like, what will happen. My mom cook, my mom no, no, sorry, my mom cleans, my mom does everything, and she basically makes my life, like, so happy. And she definitely helped me to be able to pursue the things I want to pursue in life. The only reason I could have done that was because of the strength of my mom. So
Yeah.
I just want you guys to know that you guys are powerful, and what you guys are talking about with becoming your best ever self, and in every area of life, in emotions, mentally. I think mental health is so important, even financially. Women nowadays think they need to depend on men for financial,
Mm-hmm.
to be financially free. And I think women have so much power. So Elizabeth, Celeste, Carolyn, you guys are amazing, and congrats on what you guys are doing.
So that's
Okay,
so well
cool.
put. I love that. It was like a hug to the moms out there.
Right? Sam
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
tugging
right?
at my heart. Like, oh my
Aw,
goodness.
mom
Yeah.
is like, oh, that he just hugged
Moms,
all of
moms.
us
Virtual
collectively.
hug, Darian. Big hug.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
hope that my son says the exact same thing about me in the next couple of years too. Because
You
you
know,
know what? Absolutely.
I just got one of those. I just got, and my kids are very appreciative, but I just got like,
Mm.
my 28-year-old was like, or 20, he's 27. He just gave me a year. Sorry, 27. He's like, Mom, I don't know. It was the best Mother's Day card. He's like, I don't know what I would do without, on and on. I was like, oh,
I mean, just when my son just tells me, I love you, mom, like I mean, I melt.
yeah.
And I'm like, I get very emotional easily, but at the same time, I I work really hard for my kids, for my home, for myself as well,
Yeah.
right? And I try very hard to empower women, motivate women. I have a daughter, and same thing, right? You want to teach them to stand for themselves, go for their dreams, don't give up, keep pushing.
Yes.
Everything is
Yes.
endless, really, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
right? Just keep believing in you,
yeah.
and you can achieve whatever you want.
So
And my
true.
mom, oh,
No,
Yes.
no, I was gonna ask Elizabeth a question. I was gonna ask, like, like, to someone listening right now, and they want change. Like, they want to make a change in their life. And like, what advice you would give to anyone? Like, to, it could be personally, it could be professionally, but someone that wants change, like what you would tell them.
I would say to go to the Change Guidebook, but that's just me. No,
Download.
yeah, sorry. Yeah. No,
True.
no, and honestly, if somebody's out there and they're craving change, but they don't know exactly what it is or what to do or anything like that, whether you buy my book or you go to my website or whatever it is, take just a moment. You can do this on a piece of paper even, and just draw a circle and like a pie chart kind of thing, and put the different areas of your life and give yourself like a little rating in each area, like a 1 to 10. Don't do zeros. I don't allow zeros ever. But like, I don't feel so good over here. Do that like a 2 or a 3. Be careful with the ones and zeros. You don't need to be there. We're not there. But give yourself a rating. And what would it take for you to make that an 8 or a 9 or something like that? What's that process look like, and what areas it is? It all areas of your life? Is it one area of your life? Is it, and for us moms out there, I know we're talking a lot about moms. We're faced with some, and dads, families, we're faced with some really interesting choices of how to navigate all of it. How do you navigate jobs and work and kids and have everybody grow up
Yes.
peaceful and loving and all these things that you want to do? And it's a constant, like, moment to moment thing. Some days are better than others, and some some, some things are better than others. But I really love the idea of just taking a step when things are crazy and things are hectic and you don't know what to do and you're like, I need something, but I don't know. Take a pause, take a breath, observe the situation for a little bit. Don't react, if you can, and really take an assessment of like an evaluation of like what's going on, what's really important, and is everything a priority or maybe just one or two things. I was working with a client the other day and she's like, I got her on the phone. She's like, these 8 things are wrong. I'm like, oh man, that's a lot. And she's feeling like all 8 of them are wrong at once, right? Everything is wrong, kind of thing. And we took a step back and for like a couple hours, we're like, what's really wrong? What's really bothering you? And it turns out this one area was really creating all of this. So
Right.
something like that sometimes works. Darian, I don't know if that answers your question totally.
It does.
Just think of
I love
tools
that.
you can do to get yourself sort of unstuck. Sometimes it's a conversation with somebody who will tell it to you real.
So true.
But somebody just typed in, we should constantly self-evaluate. Yes. Yes, we should.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, I love how you've made it your mission to empower, to uplift, and even as Sabita was saying earlier, we are here, Tiffany's Identity, to uplift women, to give women a platform to become the best they can be, because I think a lot of the times women might be pushed into a role or women might be overlooked for certain opportunities. But Tiffany's Identity is all about giving women that space to flourish, to change, to become unstuck. And so I just want to invite Carolyn and also Sabita and Ran to just tell us a little bit about the vision and mission, because it aligns so well with what you're doing, Elizabeth. And that's what really has us so excited about working with you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Celeste. So Tiffany's Identity. So the team of Tiffany's Identity is founded in the Caribbean, which is, the Caribbean is a multicultural blend of artistic expression, not just with physical art, but with dance, our food, our whole culture. It's about inclusion. We have people from all different backgrounds, and we believe as women, and more specifically Caribbean women, that there's a need to create a global movement to unite and empower women, not from all backgrounds and cultures, so that they can embrace what makes them unique. And so, that idea of best beautiful you. And so, with Tiffany's Identity, apart from the NFT collection, what our real aim is to empower women in business and leadership, and to ignite their passions, and to help them overcome insecurities and fears, and provide them with actionable strategies for success and wealth creation. And we think that aligns so much with what you're doing, Elizabeth, about alignment.
Yeah, it does beautifully, actually. And and the younger women, like we've had teenagers now grow up with Best Ever You. In the book, in the very back of the book, there's Sarah Cronk. I first met her. She has a brother who has Down syndrome, and she felt when she was a cheerleader in high school that she wanted to include all different people as cheerleaders, not just a certain type of person as cheerleaders. So she founded the Sparkle Squad, and she went global with it. She was on Oprah, everything. And so she's a chapter in the book talking about how, you can make an impact on other people and change people and mentor people and include people. I love that word, inclusion. That's one of my favorite words ever. Imagine that. Imagine a world where, it was peaceful and everyone was inclusive. Such a different place where you could travel anywhere and you'd be okay. And I mean, that's the world I dream of.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow,
great.
that's amazing.
So I want to ask, just some fun questions. Ran,
Yes.
sorry to put you on the spot. Okay, great. I didn't hear from you, so I really wanted to just throw this question out at you. But I want to ask you, what is most exciting for you right now about the Tiffany's Identity project? What are you looking forward to the most for this collection?
First of all, I really want to say I appreciate the all the things that have been mentioned here about how you want to be the best of you. And that is so very important, because we have been I live in Japan, and this is a culture where you're pretty much asked to perform in a certain way. And
Wow.
the rules and regulations are there, and you got to do this way. And sometimes, I kind of give that vibe to my own children, but not anymore. They're old enough. They're 29 and 31. And mom, it's not like that anymore, is what they would say. But we have these real social mores that are very strong. And so to get out of it is not easy, especially for women, right? And so I grew up with that all my years. And I think that somewhere along the line I had it in me where I didn't want to be pushed around. I remember my grandfather, we have this tradition of giving pocket money like a present in the beginning of the new year. And when I was like 3 or 4, right? I'm sorry I'm telling this story, but it's kind of like made a base of how I am. When I was like 3 or 4, so the firstborn male is the most important. And so I have an older brother, me, my younger sister, and my younger brother. And so my older brother gets a bigger bunch in his envelope. And then I get a smaller one. Yes, and then I didn't remember it until mom reminded me about it much later on. And then apparently I threw it back at the face of my grandpa, saying, I don't want this. And
Probably
then
didn't say that well.
and then he didn't understand why. And he asked my mother why. Because he's already, a generation before. He was born even in the 1800s, 1890 something. And
Yeah, wow.
And so my mom had explained that that's probably why, because she realized what's in there is not the same and she doesn't want to be treated differently. And so that kind of like set my ways of seeing things. And somewhere along the line, I feel like little by little, Japan has changed and now is even changing ever more, but it's still Japan and it's still Asia and it's still backward in many ways. And the thing I really love about being the you and the best of you is just really exciting because you just want to be always honest and true and genuine. And something I've noticed in the NFT space, I've been here for like since February, but I've noticed a lot of things are not real and not true and not genuine. And you make things, you make yourself whereby it's not the real you. And I'm always wondering, is that person the real her or the real him? Right? And so it really, really vibes with me. And I'm older than you, everybody else. I'm in the whole space. I turned 66 this year. And
Wow.
every year, every day is a learning experience for me. And this same grandfather who had influenced me a lot, he told me, never pretend that you know something when you don't know. And it's okay to admit you don't know. The only thing you do is you just learn it. And so that also stuck with me. And so you could see my grandfather had a big influence on me, I think. But at one point, I wanted to say, like coming towards the latter chapter of my life, I'm like, what am I going to leave behind for the next generation? And Jude faces this thing about leaving something, making a difference, especially for the next generation coming up, really, really vibes with me. And I love this because in the NFT space, you can do something that's not about just flipping or just making money. And it's for something that you're going to leave behind for the next generation. That's really wonderful, I think.
Okay,
Well
great.
And
put.
Thank
I mean, just to add to that as well, for me, it's really important to give back. And, often I would find myself, having conversations with my children and my husband and asking like sometimes I feel like, what's my purpose? Why
Yes.
am I here? Right. And like my grandmother, I just lost her about 4 months ago. And she was huge in my life. she learned to drive when she was in her 50s. Okay, we're talking about, you know, a woman who, you know, back in the 1930s, 1940s, you know, were just, she was just married, like she was just given to somebody. She didn't have a choice in the matter or anything like that, but she created her family, and, you know, and she raised children, and she, you know, inspired the community and everything like that. And she, you know, she was warm and kind, and she was always willing to help. And that alone, I think, is really important to me, because that's how I am. If I can help, if it's my last dollar and you need it, I'll give it to you. But, you know, just seeing how my grandmother, you know, pushed envelopes herself and said, you know what, no, I'm not just gonna, I'm gonna learn to drive at 56, so what? And she did, and that was amazing. And then she drove all across, you know, Trinidad, which was so cool. You know, my last visit there obviously was, you know, she came and, you know, driving along and stuff like that, and it was amazing. And I think that, you know, with Tiffany's identity, for me, I want to be able to help everyone who's a part of that movement just pave the way in the NFT space, allowing women, and we're talking of all ages, to just know that if you put your mind to it, you can do it. And we're going to make this huge impact moving forward. It's going to hit worldwide. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. We're going to use our voices. We're going to use our tools. We're going to use these guys that we have, and, you know, and be the best beautiful you, and align ourselves very much with everything that you have to say in your book as well.
Yeah. Well, but I'm sorry about your grandmother, by the way. Yeah, that's hard.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Sabitza.
Okay.
So we are talking about the different benefits we have, and I'm really glad that you're so on board with this project, Sabitza. We are really so thankful for everything you contribute. And so we want to talk a little bit about what we're offering with our collection. We have our conference coming up. We have many speakers. One of our great speakers is Miss Elizabeth Hamilton Guarino, and we're so happy you all had a chance to meet her today. We're doing community, we have mentorship, we have our conference. You are also getting a physical piece of art along with the NFT, which is digital art. So I want to ask Darian, are there any perks you're particularly looking forward to with this project, in addition to what I mentioned?
Well, the thing is, right, like I firmly believe that actually even a book like the Bible, it says, you know, that in a multitude of counsel there's safety. You know, like it's good to have mentors in life. It's good to have people that already went through the journey. It's good to have people that know how to get where you want to go. And especially as we're talking about change here, Elizabeth definitely is a perfect person to speak to when it comes to this. She's someone that will definitely have great advice. Today I'm literally blown away by, you know, her book and different things that comes out of the Best Ever You network. And I think that this conference will be so beneficial. Um, can imagine the amount and the different speakers that Brian is going to put together. It is going to be amazing. I think between that and the mentorship sessions, I think to me is the most valuable, because I think it will give you value. I think as a person you develop, it will help you to shape into that best beautiful person, into that best ever you, to help you to become the person that you really want to be, you know, to step out, to go and pursue your dreams. You know, it can even be different struggles and different battles that you may have mentally. I think that it's great to connect with people like Elizabeth. And definitely, guys, go look at her book, go look at her network, go see what amazing amazing stuff, amazing projects that she and her team is doing. But yes, Celeste, that to me is the most exciting. Yes, it has stuff like the raffles, it has stuff like the NFT and different value. But I think the mentorship sessions and just having access to these type of people, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, actually something I wanted to mention that we are doing for this project, this collection, we are allowing each NFT holder to bring a friend to the conference for free, because we don't want we want to open this opportunity up to as many people as possible, because it's not every day you get to attend a conference and get to speak with Elizabeth, Hamilton, Guarino, and the other speakers we have. So because it's so exciting, we don't want women to miss out. We don't want anyone to miss out. We are allowing all NFT holders to invite a friend to the conference for free. What do you guys think about that?
That's
I
huge.
think that's amazing. I
Awesome.
think
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing. And we can possibly look at different avenues and streams of how to, share this conference with people, in different parts of the world who probably don't have access, right,
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
the NFT space. So that's the next important factor that I really, really like about Tiffany's identity, that, they're looking to reach everyone and anyone.
And Celeste,
Yeah.
actually, we didn't even mention the work that we're gonna do A21. Celeste, you could probably touch on that
Right.
too. Christine Kane and the
So
team.
we are moved by the cause that Christine Kane has founded. She has founded the A21 Foundation, where they assist women who are being human trafficked. They are sex slaves. And this is a cause that, it really hurts us to know that women are out there and they're being kidnapped, they're being taken from their families, and then they're forced to be a slave. And we want to give back as much as possible, because we know that we receive so much help and to be able to launch this project, and we want to help others in turn. We want to continue to empower women from all walks of life. So a big part of our project, and our aim and our mission and our vision is to support others in turn, from the support that we receive. So it's a lot to look forward to. We have actually worked, we know Christine Kane does the A21 walk, and so it's a charity we've been involved in. And so we're really grateful that we have a new opportunity to support her in a new way, to support this foundation, because it's something that we're really passionate about. Just seeing women come out of their circumstances, seeing women heal, seeing women who've been broken and come from broken families heal and overcome. That's really the vision. That's the heart behind Tiffany's. Yeah. So we are looking to wrap up. So I'm just gonna ask, for you guys final words. What's your last input? If there are any questions, you can feel free to let us know. I know it will come up at the bottom of the screen. So if anyone has, who's viewing has any questions, you can feel free, send them in. We'll take maybe a couple questions before we close off. Okay, can you please share more about the conference? Is it online? Yes, the conference is online. We have international speakers. The date will be announced very soon, but it's speakers from all around the world, and our focus is on empowering women. So we're going to be talking about different leadership strategies, personal development, identity, purpose, destiny. It's going to be a lot. So I think that's all I can share. I mean, we don't want to give away too much, but you can follow our social media pages, where we will be releasing information gradually. Once you purchase the NFT, once you're a holder of the NFT, you get free access to the conference. And like I said, you can bring a friend along with you. Would Cryptomama be speaking at the conference? Cryptomama, will you be speaking at our conference?
Oh, I don't know. Do you think that I am conference speaker material?
That would be
I
great.
think
Why
I
not?
think
Of
you
Most
course.
definitely, yeah.
have an amazing story, Cryptomama.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
And
So then let's a little bit. Let me discuss with somebody about which ones to pick.
yeah, of course. We will definitely
Definitely.
discuss it after. You have some fans. People want to see you. People want to hear more, from what you shared today. So that is so exciting. It's really, really
Yeah,
exciting.
whatever I can to help or to offer, I'm always willing. That, like
Yeah.
Sabit said, I'm always a giver, a helper. And often even for my children, they say, you're more blessed when you get to give and you get to
Mhm.
Yes.
offer than always receive, receive, receive. And so, I mean, that's something that you get naturally because of the way you're sharing with others. Then God's going to take care of you. The angel's going to take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wait, wait.
definitely. We've seen that working with you, Ran. We have seen your willingness to support, to help. You're definitely a family person and you really are like our crypto mama, basically.
That's
So,
what she is. Yeah, indeed. She's everyone's crypto mama. Yeah.
yeah. Aw.
But guys, before we wrap up, like I want to ask Elizabeth, like, is there anything like you like to say, before we wrap up here?
I think I have a couple things.
Oops.
She got
Okay,
cut
she got
off.
frozen.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
technology is really unpredictable. Really.
One is just remember that those random,
Oh,
but random acts of kindness create waves of peace. And then the other thing is to encounter everybody that you.
Oops.
I think we're
yeah.
having a little technical difficulties, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's
Random
okay.
acts of kindness.
Yeah.
So,
Random
one
acts of
thing,
kindness
Encounter with a
is
sense of
magic.
grace, elegance. I'm typing it in.
Yes.
okay. Yes, you were breaking
There
up
you
a
go.
little bit, Elizabeth.
Yeah, there you go. And then to encounter everybody that you meet with a sense of grace, elegance, compassion,
Yeah.
and collaboration. And that sense of collaboration is huge as well. Just be really kind to those you meet. You have no idea what's going on in somebody's life, and
Yes.
we brush by people, and that pause is so important as we're encountering other human beings. The TLC with each other is so important. But
Yeah.
I hope you can still hear me. You've been kind of fading in and out, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you can
Yeah.
still hear me.
Yeah,
But
sorry about that.
no,
I think we're having some technical difficulties.
but
So,
I just appreciate the opportunity to be with you all. You're all so inspiring. It's just an absolute joy to be with you. So I appreciate the opportunity. I can't wait for the conference. I'll make sure and tell my network to sign up for the conference. So
Definitely.
great.
So, as Celeste said,
Yeah.
more information on the conference will be released. But as for now, holders of that's actually one of the reasons why you want to get the Tiffany's Identity NFT, because once you
Yes.
get that NFT, you get basically the conference NFT for free. So you basically be able to attend the conference free, right? And it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be lit. Right? It's gonna
It
be
will be
amazing.
minting soon, so make sure
Will
to
be.
follow us on social media and we're going to
Yeah.
keep you updated and let you know when exactly you can purchase the NFT.
Yeah.
It's going to be really great. If you see the art is beautiful. It's really, really great. We have an amazing artist. Her name is Renee Bascom. You can check out our website, tiffanysidentity.com. Make sure to join our Discord so you can get to meet
You could actually
Sabitza and
you could get the
That's right.
Discord
Cryptomama.
link.
Hop on to Juice Spaces
Yeah.
so that
You
we
get
could
it.
all vibe together and
Yeah.
chat.
No, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say like they could get the Discord link in Juice Space's Twitter bio. Right, just
Mhm.
letting you guys know where you could
Right.
get that,
Yes.
and you can follow
Yeah.
Tiffany's Identity on Twitter, Juice Spaces on
On
Twitter. Follow
Twitter.
Elizabeth on
Follow
Instagram. Follow
Make
Elizabeth.
sure
Elizabeth
and
on
follow
Twitter.
Elizabeth on Twitter. If you have any
Instagram.
questions,
Yeah.
feel free to ask us. We're there. We're willing to help answer anything.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Make
mean,
sure to get the book as well, the Change Guidebook.
yeah.
Elizabeth is also on YouTube with the Best Ever You talk show. So it's great, great content. I was
I've got
actually,
it.
We're all going to get one today.
Yeah.
I'm placing my order as soon as we're done.
yeah, I've been looking at Elizabeth's talk show, and it's so many people that you could only dream of meeting. And Elizabeth is interviewing them, authors, business leaders, CEOs. So
Yeah.
check it out. There's so much value that Elizabeth is giving for free, which I really, really love and appreciate. So, any
Because
last words, closing words?
I just want to say we can't wait to see you guys in Discord. We can't wait for you guys to join the
Yeah,
Tiffany's movement and keep doing what you
we want
guys
to
are
meet
doing.
you guys. Okay, great. Okay. Carolyn, any last words as we close off?
No, I think that this has been really inspiring. I mean, even as I was preparing for this, I was checking out the great content that Elizabeth has on her LinkedIn. She shares so much. And you're right, gives away so much free advice. And
Yes.
I think that I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the conference and hearing more as we have more time for you to share. I think that everything that we're doing, it's really inspiring to women who maybe they have self-doubt as to, what's their next
Yeah.
step in their life and how they can step out and create the change that is most meaningful to them. So, each one of you guys, Sabitza, Ran, I'm so inspired by each one of your lives. So thank you
For
for that.
sure.
I have a
Thank
question
you.
for you. I
Very
have a question
honored.
for you all. Like if someone in
Yes.
our network is listening and they have no clue what an NFT even is, but they want to join your conference, which one of you should they go to learn, like, what am I buying? What am I doing? What's an NFT? What is this? Because that part of it, people, that's part of the change that people fear a little bit. It's like that
Yes.
technology change. There's a
For
little bit of a curve,
sure.
that learning curve. Where should we direct people for the learning curve?
So
I
If they're
right,
think
you want
yes.
me
Go
to
ahead,
answer, Celeste?
Aaron.
Okay. Well,
Yes. Go ahead,
for
Aaron.
right now, if you're not, because that's actually something Cryptomama, we were discussing. That's how we're gonna bridge that gap. As for right now, you could join our Discord, actually, right? You could get our Discord link in the Juice Spaces bio and join our Discord, and we will, help you along the way to be able to get the NFT, right? And you definitely get more
Yes.
information. You could also follow us on Instagram. You could follow Tiffany's Identity on Instagram, and we will definitely move on from there.
Yeah.
The link is also on our website, tiffanysidentity.com. You can just click join our Discord and we'll chat directly with you.
Yeah,
Also, we are committed to educating because we know
yeah,
it's a space that a lot of people are fearful of. It's new. So we are committed to educating and producing educational content. So we do have some up on our Instagram. And
yeah.
so you can feel free to check it out. And you're going to see a lot more come out as the days go by.
And
So
soon these guys will be releasing a Google Doc, so like a form to apply. So just join Discord for now, as Celeste said, and yeah.
Beautiful.
And we're going to be there to help you through, guide you through.
Yes,
So
yes,
there's no
That's
problem.
right. We're going to
definitely.
be there vibing all evening, all weekend. Anytime, hit us up. We're going to be there.
Right.
I
so
often say that jump into the juice lounge and let's chat. And if no one wants to come in, well, then I'll start singing.
We're actually
yeah.
gonna do a
Your
talent
duet.
show next week, but
Not really good,
but
but
more
I say I
information will
will.
come out on that.
Okay, great. So Sabitza, any closing comments as we look to wrap up? Anything you want to tell the audience who's viewing with us today?
I just want to encourage everybody to, take that step forward and, join a movement that is gonna, that is really gonna impact and be so
Yeah.
powerful. It's so important that we continue to promote one another, lift one another up. You uplift each other. That's just the bottom line. And for me, I think that this journey with Juice Spaces and Tiffany's Identity and the conference and, just having Elizabeth share a little bit about her book is just mind blowing. And there's so much that we're all going to learn, and there's so much more to come, and what the project and its utility has behind it. It's powerful. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It's powerful.
Great.
One more
Thanks. Thank
question.
you very much.
I know
Yes,
you want to
Elizabeth.
close, but I have one more
Sure.
question. Who thought of the golden straw? Which one of you did that? I need to know.
That's a Juice Basis project. The first is actually gonna be released really soon,
Dude,
but that's yeah.
I love it. I know it's different, but I just wanted to say that. I just thought that was the cutest thing. I giggled for about 2 hours today over that.
That's what made me fall in love so much with this project,
Yeah.
and Juice Spaces, because
Uh,
they're so unique in what they offer. And
Yeah.
being the very first Caribbean NFT project, I'm very proud.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and having that NFT, that golden straw, actually, I think that's one of the most valuable NFTs that we're gonna
Oh yeah.
release, because owning it actually gives you so many benefits in the future, basically, right? Like there's so many benefits that come with it. So but yeah, definitely everyone will get more information as you join the Discord. Keep tabs on what we're doing, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, great. So Ran, anything you want to close us off with before we
I just
leave?
I just wanted to mention, Sabitz, you said you're so proud that this is a Caribbean first NFT project. One thing I noticed in this NFT space, somehow I run into these wonderful Caribbean people whom I can really trust and feel very comfortable with. And so I think that there is something in the culture whereby you are so really inclusive and it's all about helping others. And it really shows because I've come across several of them and they just, at first, I don't know where they're from, right? And then they just happen to be, Caribbean. And I don't know what it is exactly, but that's the vibe we really want to propage. How do you say the propage and I don't know. I'm a little lost.
Looking for the Caribbean words.
Sorry.
Were you trying to find the Caribbean words? What we say in the Caribbean?
No. So anyway, that's the vibe that you really want us to show and share to everybody, right? And I really love it because I feel very comfortable in here because sometimes it's not easy for me to be in this space, the NFT space. And I'm really happy and I'm just excited. And it's all about supporting the new talented people, the artists that are behind this. And then there will be indies coming up that we're going to be supporting. And that's just so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks so much for sharing that. So this is the last call for any questions, any comments. If not, we're going to wrap up. I know your community has been asking you a lot of questions, Elizabeth. So if any of them have asked you anything, we are.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Great. So I think we've covered a lot today, Elizabeth. You have, you have definitely inspired us. I'm so happy for what you shared with your points, your 10 points from the Change Guidebook. I think it's going to be a great read for anyone who does decide to buy it. And I love that you have so many resources that people can go to. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your time with us today, for contributing and for being a part of our conference. That will be coming up really soon. I really can't wait to hear you speak. And thank you to the team at Tiffany's Identity and Choose Spaces for being here, for sharing the information, for supporting, for facilitating this. And we are going to look to wrap up. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you to everyone who joined on to view. We can't wait to see you guys in our Discord. So I hope, someone said on the load man. We have
a great evening. Have a good night. Great morning. Rest of your day. Thank you all again for joining. Pleasure to meet you again, Elizabeth. Looking forward to the conference.
It was so great to meet all of you. I'm so grateful. The thanks goes to you guys. So
thanks so
much. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. And it was really great meeting you, Elizabeth, and everybody. Yes.
Cryptomama. Love it.
Yeah.
Cryptomama.
All right,
All right, guys.
All right. See you guys
soon.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah, look, I'm the man now, I'm the man now. I left a dub, but I did it with no handout. I'm the man now, I'm the man now. I left a dub, but I did it with no handout. I'm the man, yeah, I'm the man now. I'm the man, yeah, I'm the man now. I'm the man now, I'm the man now. Yeah, I did it with no handout.